welcome in our man Dave Aiken.
Hey now. Hey.
We were just talking about, this is the 25th anniversary of this program.
I brought Kleenex.
Thank you. We didn't get you anything.
Shouldn't have.
Oh, my gosh. Well, so nice.
I thought.
Well, and Biggie's out. If you're just joining us now, new hour here, we have a lineup change. BB Shea's in here to celebrate 25 years. We miss Biggie, of course. Many days when Biggie, is coughing and sniffling and whatever, I cut him no slack at all. I'm just like, I don't buy it, whatever. I know he's sick, but come on,
so
power
when
through.
Biggie says, I don't feel well off the air, you think to yourself,
well,
Kelly, he's lying.
No, I just think, come on, get through it. Let's go.
Suck it up.
Power through it.
Buttercup.
Suck it up.
But he's DVing
but
a little.
Yesterday,
he
I
wasn't
thought,
well.
boy, he's not well. Yeah. And it probably wouldn't be in today. And so I'm not surprised to see you here. By the way, BB Shea.
Yeah.
Last year, I had a note about you, an email from a P1 listener. In your last appearance last year, before you did your weekly wrap-up, you said, and he quoted you, you said that you had shaved and you were going to stay clean-shaven this year, which you have. And the listener said, BB Shea said he had shaved and he had hit a goal by shaving. And I say to myself, set the bar higher. That's not
Well,
BB Shea said, hit a goal for myself. I shaved.
there are goals, and then there are
Well
goals.
done.
Baby steps.
Keep
Baby
it
steps.
going the whole year.
Yeah.
And then we're just looking back on the 25 years. This is the 25th anniversary of this program. And I had forgotten this. About 2 weeks into it, maybe less, the local news wanted to put a camera in here, and we did a via satellite interview with the local news.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And the woman who was a really seasoned journalist here and had done a lot of television, I guess she just looked at her notes quickly and didn't realize who we were or what the name of the show was. And she said, we're going live now to the newest show on the air, Two Gays Named Chris. We got a couple of gays in here. And congratulations to you two for living your truth. And we were just sitting like,
Hey, you think the time is right for a show such as this?
Yeah.
It's still the 90s.
We
Very
do.
progressive for
Yeah.
99.
She said, you're really getting it out there, and we're so proud of you. And we were like nodding our head and everything, not knowing really.
It's only gotten gayer. So
Only gayer. She got it. Maybe she had it right. She got it, as it started. And she said that, and we were like, oh, okay, and then moved along with the interview. Those types of things,
Right.
And it had just started. And then our friend Jerry Rowe, who wrote an article on us for the newspaper, spent some days with us, like
Significant time.
He wanted to really get into it. And then when I read the article, which was very long, I thought, this is terrible.
Who are these guys?
I was misquoted numerous times in that article, as was Chris Demm, and we had a Mr. M&M man on our desk, and I used to eat M&Ms out of it, and he made a lot of comments about how many M&Ms I was eating. I remember that.
To be fair, over the course of that first year, I think we consumed
A lot of
10 pounds of M&Ms apiece.
that was our thing. We did a lot of, because somebody had given me for Christmas an M&M. It was a big M&M holder, and you just poured them in there.
And just dispense when you yanked Mr. M&M's arm.
They would come out, and we just kept buying 2-pound packages of M&Ms.
And we would just stress eat. We'd sit, we'd before the show stress eat.
Yeah.
After the show stress eat.
Yes.
You guys had a tough go of it. I mean, I remember when you first came on, and I was knee deep in television back then, and everybody's making fun of you.
Yeah. That's how.
In fairness,
Rightfully so.
It was right.
In fairness,
It was right.
In fairness, the show that was on before you, just weeks before, was a juggernaut.
Huge.
And I would listen to them religiously.
Yeah,
on this station. So it was tough for you at the beginning.
And
it was about 365 days before you started to really get it in there.
It was a while.
It was a tiptoe. But you got there.
We got it. The first vacation was in July, and I remember going, I really need this vacation. It was a tough first 6 months. And I know Biggie, if he was here, would share this. Early on, we did an event at the Coliseum. It was a tug of war. Right,
during the Monster Truck Show.
During the Monster Truck Show,
which is always in late January.
We would go out onto the mud there, the dirt floor, and do a tug of war.
We each had recruited a team.
Yes, and so we did tug of war against 5 listeners for Chris Demm's team, 5 for my team. And as we walked out, the thundering orchestra of booze that rained down, and we're waving, and we've just taken up we're waving and everything, and then do our tug of war. Well, the man who booed loudest that night in the audience was a young Biggie who was up there, who was at the stadium
in the rafters
and booing. And about a week later, where we were both supposed to be at a hockey game, a hockey event where we walked out on stage and did something with a puck, and Chris Demm got sick and couldn't go, and I was out there by myself, and again, a thunderous ovation of boos. And our promotions man, Joseph, at the time looked at me and said, man, I ain't never experienced anything like this. He started walking. He started sliding off the ice. I was out there waving. Boo!
Yeah.
You suck. You stink.
That's a 12,000-seater. But maybe, Shay, I don't know if you've ever been booed by you've probably heard 23,000 people boo, but when it's directed at you,
man, that really feels
it hits different.
What a feeling to be booed by 20-some thousand people.
Kept putting you out there, didn't they?
Kept it, early especially.
The boss.
Yeah, he said, let's get out there.
When's the motorcycle show?
Yeah, let's do it. And I went out
When's
there.
the boat show?
And when I was out there on that ice, waving to that booing crowd, and I thought, Chris Demm is not here.
He deserves to be here.
Deserves to be here.
Taking this beating, but I couldn't get out of bed.
No, and that's when Joseph said, man, I got to. He just backed slowly. He was just sliding across the ice. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Now, the good, the bad, the ugly today here on this program. 2 good stories. Talk about an achievement. Chris Demm said today, is this big deal, little deal, or no deal? And according to my son, at least, it's a very big deal. Last night, he had a friend over, and they were both marveling at this 13-year-old who has become the first person ever to beat the original Tetris. First person to beat it. What does that mean? He reached the end of the game?
So basically, when you beat Tetris, it means that it just stops.
Yeah, the game stops.
Yeah, it just stops completely.
It stops throwing things
it stops.
at you?
It's just kind of like tweaks.
It's
done. It
it's
stops.
Out.
Yes.
And let me, on what platform do kids play Tetris now?
On phone. You can play them on your phone. You can play them on your Switch or whatever. Yeah.
Tetris came out in 1989. And you could play it.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Played it on like a computer. That's when I first started playing it in the 90s. But was it on like a...
It's on Nintendo.
Well, it's on Nintendo, yeah.
So this is the moment it happened.
Oh my God! Oh, yes! I can't feel my fingers.
That's pretty odd. I thought that was cool.
There's no fireworks or anything that go off.
No, it just stops.
You hear the buzzing.
Yes.
It just like it just stops
because it's out.
It like glitches.
It's out of stuff to drop at you, and you could hear him realizing, "Oh my God, I just beat the thing," which no one had done.
Oh my God! Oh, yes! I can't feel my fingers.
He figured it out.
Can we go inside the numbers? How many? I don't have nothing. How many levels? How long did he have to do this to beat it?
That is a good question. Let me look.
Can you pick it up?
I wonder if you have to do it in one session.
Is that one sitting?
He made it to level 157 when the game froze up, and apparently it keeps going and going and going until you lose. But eventually, if you get better and better and better, the console can't keep up and it crashes. And for him, it crashed on 157. It's never happened before. It only took him 38 minutes to go through 157 levels.
My gosh.
Mm-hmm. He got the highest score ever, 6,850,000 points. Tetris came out in 1989. That was 20 years before he was born, 22 years before he was born. And he says next he wants to try to do it again, but do it faster and be more efficient.
Now, this may shock you. I've never played it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it is, but is it the same pattern if you memorize it? Can you learn it? Or
no, I think it's just all random.
It's all random, and it gets faster and faster and faster. That's why it took him. That's because usually, of course, you lose because it gets faster. The things keep dropping at you faster, and he is the first person to ever beat it. He is a known gamer, Wilson Gibson. And afterwards, he talked about it and said, look, if you set your mind to something, you can do it.
If you set your mind to something and you put work into it, most likely you will get it if you try hard enough.
I love that work ethic.
It's not true, but I like his spine.
I know, it's not true.
I like his spirit.
It's not true.
You can bang your head on a rock for a
That's
while.
right.
You're going to get smarter.
It doesn't matter. He's right. Chris Demm's right about
Think of your dash dreams.
absolutely.
Law school.
He's right. That's right. It's a beautiful. A 13-year-old will say that.
Of course,
yes.
I like that.
I just heard the Florida State coach give his post-game speech after they lost to Georgia 63-3 in the bowl game, and he said the opposite. He said hard work doesn't guarantee success. And he was crying. He's like, you know, I respect every single one of you for going out there and getting beat 63-3, but hard work. He's like, people tell you it will. It does not. It absolutely does not guarantee success. So that's a first good story here today. And that is, I mean, usually I poo-poo games and stuff like that, but that was cool, I thought. That was really neat that he did.
I can't, I mean, so can you save a game or have to start fresh every time?
I guess
you can pause it. I'm
He
not
did.
going to lie. I'm pretty good at Tetris.
Are you good?
I've gotten 1,000,000 points before once.
Really?
So, but
Really?
yes, depending on where you play, you can pause it and come back. But the way he did it in 37 minutes, I'm sure it just went like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
If I recall, though, it started slow. When
It
I
does,
did
it does.
I mean, it's
It
like
does.
those things barely drop out of the sky.
But you can
gotta-
make them go faster.
Oh, you can make them go faster.
Well, and then apparently it does go faster to beat you.
I mean, to do it in 40 minutes.
Incredible. Incredible.
Because, like, this is a dated reference, but Pac-Man is the same.
I guess
are those patterns you can learn?
I don't think so. I think the ghosts are random. They get faster and faster and faster too, right?
Yeah, but I thought you could. Maybe I'm thinking of like those Donkey Kongs.
It's possible.
Some of those are
those
almost
barrels
always the
that
same.
get sent down and
But
stuff.
the farther you go into the game, you haven't seen
It
the
does speed up,
It speeds up, and you haven't seen it before. I mean, apparently he's gotten very close before to doing. Obviously,
You're a Miss Pac-Man man.
absolutely.
Kelly. You never came close to reaching the end. I wonder what the end of that's like.
I'm not I'm not a good gamer.
She drops her bloomers.
I didn't see. That was out in the
Does
upstate
Mr.
before.
Pac-Man
Apparently,
come Rogers or her from behind?
Congratulations, big boy.
and then here comes Mr. Pac-Man.
Hey!
That's right. That's right. Yeah, pretty good stuff. I've never gotten even close to that. You know, I'm not a very good game player. I did like Miss Pac-Man. That was my go-to. That and Cubert. In the
Nobody played
the
Cubert.
arcade.
That one was always open. Nobody wanted to play
Wait a minute.
Cubert.
I was there the
Nobody
day.
wanted to play
I
it.
was at Aladdin's Castle the day they delivered Cubert. I said, "What's this?" I said, "Some new game nobody wanted." I said, "I'm on it," and I put my quarters up there. Nobody came around me, and
Your initials up there
first. You
were
know
your top 10?
Cubert.
Heard of Cubert, yeah.
You know Cubert.
Yeah.
Have you played?
No, never played. It's like playing.
Nobody's played. Kelly's the only one that's
Dig
played.
Dug. Who plays that?
I love Dig Dug.
Dig Dug's terrible.
Dig Dug's one of my all-time favorites. I love Dig Dug.
Cubert, you just jumped around down off of blocks or
Correct.
something, didn't you?
Yeah.
And he had a big nose.
Yes, that's right. A big-nosed
What's fun about that?
alien. Nothing's fun about it, Dave. That's why I like it. That's
You
why.
cracked the code, Dave.
That's my game.
Was there a cereal?
Yes.
I wonder if there's a Cubert cereal.
Well-
I bet there was for a month.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if there was a cereal. I know the first time I played it, I just jumped down 5 blocks and then jumped off. And I said, that's pretty much what
That's
I feel
enough.
like. That's what I feel like doing. Ding, ding, ding.
You know, if you work hard at something.
You can get there.
You get really
You
good.
can do it.
You know, speaking of video games, we got to see both of my nephews, and they're 10 years apart in age, my brother's kids. One is 18 and one is 8. And the 8-year-old was showing me his new football video game that he's become addicted to.
Yes.
And the 18-year-old said it's the hottest game among his peers.
Yeah.
And it's like old school. It's supposed to look like Tecmo.
Yeah. My
And
son's
it's
playing
It's
it.
the hottest game among young, at least boys that I know.
My son,
right now.
a friend of my son.
It's primitive.
Yes, that they're going back to that. You know, what was that game a few years ago? It was so big, Minesweeper. Is that no Minecraft?
Minecraft, yeah.
is so big, and it's primitive looking.
Yeah.
That's a friend of my son's, and he was over last night. He has gotten for Christmas one of these consoles that plays 1,000 video games or more. And the ones they're playing are the old school Atari or Tecmo Bowl. They love Tecmo Bowl.
It's crazy.
It is. It's like they've gone back to it. They don't want the great graphics.
Realistic graphics.
I mean, there's some of that, of course.
There's something to say about the simplistic of those games that came out in the 80s. Like,
Sure.
games that they play now are so convoluted, is so long, you have to play so long. You could just play these over and over again, like Tetris. It never ends. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was really cool that they were back into those games I used to play, you know.